welcome into the form where our feature meeting will be down south this weekend, down at Dunedin. We're also looking forward to action at Matamata this weekend. And of course, on Sunday at Trentham, it is Cuddle Stakes Day. So to talk through the action, it's a little bit of a throwback Thursday. Everyone around the country today, we've got Aidan Rodley and Bevan Sweeney joining us, and we've got plenty to talk about, team. So let's have a look what is coming up on the agenda. And we'll be starting with the feature down south, the Group 3 White Robe Lodge Wait for Age. Then on the undercard, we'll be taking a look at the Dunedin Guineas and the Dunedin Cup. Heading to Matamata, taking a look at their two open features. And then, as I mentioned, at Trentham on Sunday, we look forward to the Cuddle Stakes and our usual segments as well. So let's get things started, have a look at the weather and track conditions down south. And of course, Aidan, it's generally your home away from home. What's happening down there?
Massive day of racing, isn't it, at Wingatui? Hi to everyone. Yeah, soft 5 at the moment, but there is a bit of rain around as we're going through this on a Thursday morning. However, Friday looks okay, Saturday looks okay, and probably will be nigh on perfect conditions for a massive day of racing. I think this is the highest stakes money ever for a meeting in Otago, so it'll be a special one.
It certainly will be, and of course the crowd really gets out and about there too, so make sure you do if you're in the area as we take a look at the feature here. Race number 9 on the program, Sir Albert is our favourite at $5, holding up at his opening quote along with Stony Breck. Wits End, who was very good last start when winning, and Brave Spirit at $9. I think it shows a bit of depth here with how the market is shaping up, with a very nice horse paying $5 in Sir Albert. That's the market, Aidan. What about the speed in the race? How do you see them setting up?
Won a little bit of a hand from Bevan Sweeney here, but you've got those go-forward horses such as Ears Back, and then there'll be pressure a little bit further out wide. Riviera Rebel will be positive, there's no question about that, and you'd expect that Cluedo Lane is likely to get forward as well. Brave Spirit should get a nice trip from a handy draw, and same goes for Betty Spaghetti. Wits End, who was terrific last time out. Sir Albert's got a positive draw as well. Those go-back horses, Matt Scott, Saisatono, not really too many choices from a wide gate. Bevan, how did you see the speed?
Well, I suppose the real key to the race is Ears Back. She has been very, very good off a forward position. In her last couple of race day starts, she's sort of taken a neutral position, but I think they'll be positive on this particular day out of Wingatui. We haven't been there last year. Inside played quite strongly and on speed, so I think they'd be crazy to give away that draw. So that should ensure there's some good enough speed. I think Sir Albert, Wits End's generally pretty positive. They should get some nice runs, and then it'll be a real shake-up out wide, I think, with a few of these putting extra pressure into it. So I think the mile will be run quite truly.
Okay, so that's how the speed is setting up. Now, a friend will be happy with this. Maybe he'll pick up the cover of the race form, because Wits End is on the cover here. Of course, Leith Innes in the ownership, and he was very good when winning the Hazlitt Stakes last start. A handful of contenders come out of this race, well, more than a handful, and this is him picking up the win. Obviously, had the lightweight, goes up with the weight for age conditions. Aidan, what's your gut feel of him back to the mile?
I thought he was terrific, actually, Wits End. It is maybe a little bit of a query getting up, but he was really strong, especially late here. And you've got to give real kudos to Leah Hemi and the way she's ridden this horse. It was a really nice performance. And also the change of programming as well, to get that Hazlitt up to 1,400 metres and as a lead into this race. Outside that, Saisatono good. Brave Spirit good as well. Riviera Rebel's okay, and he's probably the horse who's proven at weight for age level. You've got those other horses who are getting up to weight for age and therefore worse at the weights, but Riviera Rebel's one who's already proven at weight for age level. Bevan, what did you make of the Hazlitt form?
Well, I still think he sleeps with the lights on in the stable, Wits End. I'm not sure he was concentrating overly hard, but he got the job done. Leith slipped a check to the team and got him on the cover. Surprises me. Their record, it's improving, actually, let's be fair on the cover, but we know how good he is at his very, very best. If he was to turn up in his best of form, he was to jump and put himself on speed, and he's run strongly through the line, and Terry Ray seems to have got his mind onto the job to some extent, then he's very, very difficult to beat. I don't think that is the number one form line in this race. I clearly think that sits at the top of the book. Brave Spirit, I thought, was pretty good in that same race. I was a bit concerned about Betty Spaghetti, but it might have been a medical issue there. She really did stop late, but she did get caught 3 wide the trip. I think she's much better than that particular performance. But look, we know he's got the ability, and he might just have found his mojo again, what's end.
Yeah, might have. You mentioned Betty Spaghetti there, though, Bevan, and we were lucky enough to have Joan Fogarty head down south, catch up with some of the key trainers there, including Anna Furlong. So let's see how they've come out of that race.
Yeah, Betty Spaghetti, victim of circumstance, front-running bias on the day. She was wide and back, so no knock on the horse, and hopefully this week we can get an alley.
And the Entertainer, of course, was pretty good winning last Wednesday at Riccarton Park. Come through the run okay?
Yes, super. We really needed to get her some points so we could get into these kind of races, and fingers crossed she'll just squeeze in.
Of the two, if they both get a run, are you favouring one over the other?
Look, Betty's a class mare. The Entertainer needs to step up, obviously, into this company. So, yeah, would be Betty over her.
Look, really happy with the mare. She's probably in the form of her career and she's going well. The 1600's probably the slight query, but I think she's at the right stage of her prep to get the mole.
And she did a bit of work today. How did she go?
Yeah, nice little bit of work on the player. Worked well. Unassuming mare, only ever does what she has to, but she does it on the racetrack.
And she's bounced through the summer racing pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. She's going well. Supposed to do races till now, but she's in really good form.
The other runner for Terry Ray, of course, is the favourite, and that is Sir Albert. We'll take you back to him in the Group 2 Thorndon Mile. And you're right here, Bevan, this is the superb form, really. When you see the ground that he's taking off Legato late, we saw what she went on to do from this race.
Oh, absolutely, and I think you're getting value around Sir Albert. In fact, I think the bookmakers, I'm going to talk about a few more races deeper into the show, they've just got it completely wrong. And I thought that this horse should have been cheaper. This horse has been fair dinkum, low flying. This was a great performance from Sir Albert after getting well back, coming in the worst of the track conditions, as you can see. Look, this horse should have won the big mile down at Riccarton. It was an enormous performance with absolutely no luck. I think the run at Timaru was also very, very good. And look, I think this is a A-form line. Sam Collett, good gate, Terry Ray. Everything to me says Sir Albert is offering you some decent sort of money. And I don't think the price sticks on this horse. I think it'll close in much closer to sort of $3.50 than the opening quote that we have got.
Yep, I agree, Bevan. I've got Sir Albert as the overs in the race without question. His very best form line is better than this, and he's the top-rated horse in a weight-for-age race who is going well. The one concern maybe just a little bit about that Wingatui track record. Has had a couple of starts there and been unplaced in both. Just going back into that race as well, Aurico faded. He was, I think, maybe in the worst spot, and maybe if you're forgiving of him, he did win this race last year. Home Matt Scott ears back. So if Aurico came with his best form, but then he's got to turn the tables on Sir Albert, which really, again, goes back to the point that Bevan's making, that Sir Albert's bringing the right form.
Yeah, he really is, of course, running in the Dunedin Cup. But last time, let's see if he can take out the race. But another contender will be Mascot, and he's Mr. Consistent. Dan Fogarty actually caught up with his, unfortunately, suspended rider at the moment, Tristan Moodley, just to see how he's been working.
He's been working real good, and we're really happy with him at the moment. I mean, after his Trentham run, he's come on heaps from that, and he's just a different horse now. He's dropped a bit of weight and he's looking well, so he's being really good at the track, which is different for him. But yeah, we're really happy for him at the moment.
And usually Matt Scott's best when he sits back and runs on. Do you think there's been any change in that over the last wee while?
I don't think so. We're just hoping for a good draw for Saturday, and he'll get into a good spot, one off the rail, and hopefully settle midfield, and you'll definitely see him running on Saturday, I think.
And it looks a nice each way chance, but it is time for selections. Aidan, we'll start with you. Have you got Sir Albert on top, or are you looking elsewhere?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely with Sir Albert. I'm really liking the way that he's coming into this race. I don't think it's the deepest of White Robe Lodge that we've seen in recent years, and for that reason, even from a wide draw, Riviera Rebel is some sort of chance in this race. I see the bookies are strong on Stony Breck, and Whitsend was great in the lead up. But yeah, I'm clearly with Sir Albert, and I'm picking Bevan that you're pretty much the same.
I am, but I do agree with you, Riviera Rebel. If it had drawn a decent marble, I think it would have been further up my thoughts. Seisatono, clearly in career best form. I just go back to that Wingatui meeting, and over 1,400 metres, they were running 122 and winning off the front. You just can't make up too much ground on those sort of tempos. So, look, I think if Riviera Rebel can find a spot forward, I think that makes it dangerous. Seisatono, Brave Spirit's going well. Mascot might be the legato of the race because Mascot's been going okay. in nice races without really going through them, but clearly his class. But I'm with you, A-Rod. Sarah Albert is clearly the one for me from the gate with the rider, trainer and the overall record. Sir Albert, I think he closes.
Okay, so there you go, the Terry Ray runner, although it sounds like Bevan's given you maybe a top 4 there to play in the race as well. As we take you to a break, don't go far. We've got the Dunedin Guineas and Cup preview coming up off the other side. We've got a very, very good undercard down at Wingatui over the weekend. So let's start with the key feature on the undercard, and it is the Property Brokers Raking Dunedin Guineas, where a lot of go is paying $4.50 in from $4.60, so already backed in the Lance Robinson runner, Luna Capella at $5.50, Perolino at $5.50, and then everything else out to double figures, like Bobby McGee and Hello Hayley, who have been really good of late, Bevan, so there does look a little bit of value in this race.
I thought a lot of go was too short, and everyone at home knows my fandom around a lot of go, but for me he was too short in this market. I thought Luna Capella was outstanding last time, and the bookmakers have got it wrong on Hello Hayley, surely. It has come from last at Invercargill and beaten Luna Capella. The sectionals were off the map. She's got a good gate on Saturday. She's going to get better as she stretches up to the mile. I thought it was madness. Looking at the speed map here, it's a bit of a muddle for me. You've got some, I think Assemble's a chance as well out wide, but a lot of go probably has to take his medicine. They might be a little bit positive with him. I think they might as well use their draw with Hello Hayley. I think he can certainly find a spot further forward. Perfect draw for Luna Capella. I think she's a great run. And maybe Mistard is the one who's got the early zip to come across and take up the tempo. And from there can be dangerous. I just wonder about the 1600 metres, although she was very good behind, well written in the Guinea. So I thought this was a little bit of a muddling speed map, but I think okay, Sarah and Miss Starlight, probably the two. Luna Capella gets the run. I'm not sure exactly where a lot of go gets to, but he's well capable, clearly.
Okay, well, let's find out from his trainer how he is tracking. Dan caught up with Lance Robinson.
And I'm really happy with him. He's done well since the race. He hasn't missed a beat. He'll have his final gallop in the morning. He's just had a quiet week, really, but we'll give him a bit of a run up in the morning, which should top him off. So, no, we're happy where we're at.
And back up to the mile, that's been the goal throughout this prep?
It's always been the race we've worked towards. He'll just eat the mile, I think. Just the other day, the 1200, 58 on his back, it wasn't really his go, and his sectionals were the second best in the race, apart from the winner. So we're really happy with him. He pressed home really nice late, and so yeah, everything went well.
We know his quality, obviously placed in a Group 3 Barneswood Stakes, and this was his first run back, Aidan, from obviously that very hard run in the 2000 Guineas, and you heard from Lance there doing his best work late, and the blinkers go on this weekend.
Yeah, you can see from the first 4 around the bend, the other first 4 home in this Ashburton race, so he just didn't really zip, but you know he's going to improve from it. The concern now is just that barrier draw. Where do they get to from 14? If he'd drawn a lot handier, then I'd have been keener on his chances. We know he's going to take improvement out of this run, and you can see him really late, gets past on the horse on the outside. What he was doing in the spring was terrific. They put the blinkers on, taking the side winkers off, so we know the quality's there. There's just a couple of little queries for me. He's definitely in contention for mine, but he's not on top, Evan.
Well, I love him, and I love him up to the mile, and I love the blinkers on. I was on the face value of his fresh out run, I was a little disappointed, but they did have that heavy shower just before this race and earlier on in the program, so the track was just cutting out, so I'm not sure he got a great grip on that track condition. He was run off his feet. As the sectionals will tell the story, that he got home really, really nicely. He gets up to the mile. Draw, Joe Dawes on fire. I think he'll overcome that draw. He does have a little bit of early slip, so I think if he can find midfield one off, for me, he's the major player in the race, but that's just the norm, really. But it is a pretty talented field in the 7th.
Yeah, it really is. And, of course, Luna Capella is our second favourite. She was very brave in the Southland Guineas. Let's hear from Anna Furlong how she's been since.
Yeah, look, we just desperately want this filly to, to draw handy. She's been unlucky in her last 2 starts to draw wide. Very tough run. Southland Guineas wide the trip, but just thought she was really gutsy the way she attacked the line still.
And she's come through the run okay?
Yep, no, she's come through really well. So yeah, again, fingers crossed we just can get a draw for her and have a little bit more luck.
And this horse is the perfect advertisement for big syndicates. They all seem to be having a great thrill with this horse.
Yeah, absolutely. We were very fortunate for Sam and LA Stud to send us down to her. Wonderful group of owners, and they're just having a ball.
Well, this time she has drawn a marble. She's drawn Barry at number 2. As we take a look at the Southland Guineas, most of the contenders coming out of this race, and thought she was so brave on this occasion, Aidan. And I also thought Bobby McGee, he was very good too from his position in the race.
Yeah, but look at the favourite. That's the horse 3 back on the fence, and now just gets held up on the inside. There's no run there, comes off the fence, and then has to get through runners late. This was some sort of win from Hello Hayley. Yes, you've got those horses who are coming out wider who have covered a little bit more ground, but sectionally off she's just been that much superior to them, and now draws fine in another really good race. She was 5 lengths faster for that last 800 than any other horse in the race, Hello Hayley. So, she's bringing winning form out of Invercargill. Yeah, Luna Capella was great. Actually thought Perfect Habit was good on probably track conditions that he didn't like, but it surprises the heck out of me you're getting $10 on Hello Hayley's swings.
Oh, they've got it wrong. They've got it wrong. Like, you can only go off the previous performance, and it beat Luna Capella. I think the performances are comparable, so why aren't the prices comparable? Luna Capella does have a touch of class, but I'd have to say that Hello Hayley must have, after what we saw there, better draw. She can actually settle and run quite handy, so look out if she gets a 1-1 trip and just gets exposed at the top of the wing until he's straight. They'll be in a lot of trouble. I think Luna Capella is very, very smart, though, on what I saw last time. I do agree with Pip Bobby McGee is a horse with a fair bit of upside, and I'm not giving up on Assemble yet. I think Assemble has a fair bit of upside, especially up to the 1,600 metres as well, but I think Aidan's made the point. I've made the point. If you want $10, you go 6 in race 7.
You really do. It's a field with depth, though, because we've also got the Te Akau runner in here, the Super Sef filly and Perlino. Let's see how she's tracking into the race with Sam Burgesson.
Yeah, really nicely. We're quite surprised how well she won that maiden there at Riccarton, and she's trained on really well. Hunter and the team are really pleased with how she's sort of progressed and taken a good amount of confidence from it. So it's obviously, it's hard to line the form up, I suppose, down there with those Guineas type horses, and it'd be interesting to see how she takes the step up from the maiden win, but she's really well.
Was it the maiden win that really did sort of say, yeah, let's have a crack at Stakes Company?
Yeah, for sure. Like, she couldn't have been more dominant. She's always been a filly that's taken a little bit of time and continued to sort of do things wrong and be very green, but that maiden win certainly showed she's on the right track and continues to improve.
And she has progressed well since?
Yeah, work's been super. Hunter couldn't be more happy with her and the team down there, and she's bright and well, and work was really good on the course proper there on Tuesday.
Sam hit the nail on the head there, Aidan, though, with just how you assess her form up against the Guineas form. So how did you do it?
This was just a dominant performance. So now the question is, how does this form correlate to Southland Guineas, which we know it was a really competitive race. We saw that in the previous video, but in the closing stages, she simply runs them ragged. This is a performance of a filly with a lot of upside, and if she can bounce off this Bevan and take that natural improvement, then I think she's got to be a factor as well.
Yeah, I agree. They ran 1:37 this day, and the rest of the field couldn't get anywhere near her, which sort of had me scratching my head. It was a soft 7, but look, it wasn't the worst track condition, so the time is only average, and she won in that time by that sort of margin, so it left me scratching my head. This is the one horse with Bruno aboard who might fire the gates and really put some interest into it. It did set up the speed at Otaki when we saw it there that day, beaten by Dark and Dusty. It'll jump and run. If it puts itself in the first 3 or 4 and does a repeat performance of that, then has to be in the mix, and might be one that is actually on the right profile, going the right way to be very tough to beat.
Yeah, you just got to really respect the Tangerine and a couple of others in the race. But we do need to have one on top, Aidan. So who's it for you?
For me, and this was without even looking at prices, I had Hello Hayley on top. I thought she was just so good in that Southland Guinea. She'd built to that nicely, but just the numbers backing up how good that performance was to the eye. So I'm with her again, Hello Hayley to do the Guineas double. Sweens, who'd you land on?
I'm with the obvious. I think the best of a lot ago wins. He's a very, very smart horse. This has been a target. Look, they missed out on the Gold Guineas when they scratched that meeting, so maybe that's put a little bit of a hiccup into the preparation. But if he's well, and I'm sure he is, from reports and the blinkers going on, I think he is the one to beat if he can get the right run.
Okay, so that's a look at the Dunedin Guineas. Now let's move on to the Dunedin Cup here as we take a look at race number 8 on the program. The positive signs, print Dunedin Gold Cup at listed level. Court of Appeal, $5.50 open favourite from Smooth Operator, who was runner-up in the race last year at Sevens, Indiardi at $8.50, and then you've got Mayor of Norwood at $10 along with Noble Knight. So again, you're getting some good prices around these runners. Going to jump straight to Sam Burgesson off the back of this market, and I talked to him about the Te Akau runners that are heading down south.
Yeah, really nicely. They both backing up from last Wednesday on their home track. Obviously no travel down there at Riccarton, and both run really well. Elegant Lady was sort of a bit of time between runs and really needed it, and that probably showed up the straight there, but she strips a lot fitter for Saturday. And Court of Appeal, she's going really nicely. Will take good confidence from that win, and a progressive staying mare who's on the right track. So really nicely weighted. They'll sneak in with nice light weights, and we think they're both really nice each way chances.
What about that step up in distance?
Yeah, suits both, I think. Elegant Lady, she's sort of a little bit of a query. She's mixes her form over those staying trips at times, which has been a little bit frustrating. She nearly should have won the race a couple of years ago and was a little bit disappointing in last year's edition of it. So hopefully third time lucky for her, and Court of Appeal we think really suits.
You can see why they think, obviously, Court of Appeal, Aidan, really should suit it, because we're just so dominant here and very strong through the line.
Yeah, absolutely. And both of them coming in nicely at the weights, like 53s in this type of race, especially when Court of Appeal carried 59 this day. So that form looks okay. I've always liked the Elegant Lady and what she's been doing. So, yeah, I think it's not the worst of form references, this, Bevan.
I just have no idea in this race, to be fair. Like one of a dozen could probably win it. I'm not really sure. This is a really good performance. I love the way when Bruno brought it out towards the other horse that it really dug its toes in and had a fair bit of will to win. So I think there clearly is a lot of upside. Has won 5 of 22, 2,400 metres. I don't think will stop an eminent out of Isabel mare, so should run through the line very, very strongly. But this is a real head scratcher to me. I'm not sure which way to look here, Pip.
Well, let's see if this form line can help you, Bevan. Let's have a look at Smooth Operator taking out the Invercargill Cup, and he's coming in with very similar form lines to last year when he was runner-up in the race. He only has to carry the 53 kilos too off the back of this good win compared to last year with 57.
Yeah, look, again, it's a really nice performance from a Smooth Operator, and this is the problem in this race. There's quite a few of these horses that have put up really nice efforts at their last performance. I conclude to Mighty Diva, who led up and found its mojo again. You had a horse like in Vegas who was good last time. So they seem to all be peaking for the right day, and it's understandable with the stakes that are up. A lot of the South Island Deep South trainers have really been putting a focus on this. Smooth Operator, look, beat home Noble Knight that day. That is nothing easy to do. It's interesting. I think the two tough boys at the top of the market, even though they're carrying a lot of weight, might have something to say as well. But there's a few going well. Where does Smooth Operator get from that sort of draw? With 53 kilos, Aidan, does he roll forward and find a forward position? But I sort of think in my map there's a few trying to find a spot forward. So they might just run this really, truly.
Yeah, I think that might be a negative for Smooth Operator, because I agree. I think they've got to roll forward. That's just the way that he's working so well at the moment. And boy, he was good that day. He really did run them ragged in that Invercargill Cup. Noble Knight, who was second, comes in a couple of kilograms better. Is it enough to turn around a 6 1/4 length margin? Probably not. And like Pip said, he ran such a great race in this race last year as well. Yeah, there's a bit more pressure, and that might just be the undoing of Smooth Operator. But on what he did at Invercargill, he's got to be really well respected in this.
Yeah, it really does. And of course, you're right about the top weights as well. Let's have a look at Mayor of Norwood, who was very good in the Wakawaiti Cup here with the top weight of 61 kilos. And he certainly didn't disappoint at all when he headed up north to, of course, the Wellington Cup.
Not at all. I love this horse. He is such a cool dude. He's now 7-year-old. He's had 36 starts. He's won 8. He's been placed 9 others. So he's just got an ultra consistent record. Look, he's drawn the car park and he's got 58 kilos against a few horses that are down on the 53, clearly the majority of the field. So he's up against it. But look at him wind up here and just blow on. Boy, he had 61 kilos this day. So weight's not a big impost for him. Corey Campbell gets on with him perfectly. The money's up. Trained by a couple of champion trainers. Look, he can win. He can definitely win Mayor of Norwood. He is going so well. And his run in the Wellington Cup was top notch as well. So there won't be a fitter horse. A horse will run the trip better. Gait and weight are against him, but he's got the class to win, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't think the weight's actually too much of a problem. Well, like you say, he had 61 that day and ran past Noble Knight, comes in something like 3 kilograms or in that vicinity better. The draw is niggly. It just means, what do they do? If they go forward, I think they could just find themselves posted. So does it mean that they have to take their medicine and go back? And how's Mayor of Norwood going to handle that? So the draw is niggly, and it's the same for Capo dell'Impero, who's drawn 1 inside. So yeah, it's tricky, but I agree. The Wellington run had mirrored in the previous form was absolutely top notch.
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks in the race. Let's see if some of our trainers who we haven't talked about yet with their runners can answer some of those. We'll start with Anna Furlong, who has If I Did It.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been the model of consistency this whole preparation. Unlucky not to get one over the line in front, but yeah, he's definitely earned his spot.
Over the 2200, what would be the best place for If I Did It in terms of being in the run?
Look, I think the key to that is just getting him to settle. Hopefully there's a bit of genuine tempo on, and if he can just lob along and be nice and relaxed, it'll help him get the distance.
No worries about the distance getting to the 2200 on Saturday?
No, look, he keeps surprising. He's pretty versatile. He certainly was running through the line, which was wonderful to see. Jack got off and said he should get the 24 with not a problem.
Yeah, 2 really well horses at the moment. They probably start contrasting what they want in a surface. Ocean Light would prefer a bit of moisture. Star Ballot probably, wants it rock hard. But as you touched on, I think Star Ballot at times has raced really well over the summer period. And I mean, both horses deserve a crack at a race like this. If Ocean Light can run up to his form Cup week, then he'd go awfully close. I think if the track was slightly off, but if the track was hard, then Star Ballot's a big chance. So yeah, they're both nice enough each way chances.
Really happy with the mare. I'll be honest, I was one of those who was slightly concerned. She just had 3 runs, but every year she takes a run or 2 to come right. But I was a little concerned after after Riccarton. So put the blinkers on, really sharpened her up, and it was a positive ride from Bruno. And yeah, it was good to have her back on track.
Would you be looking to do the same on Saturday, getting as forward as you did last week?
Yeah, look, she's an on-speed mare. There's a little bit of speed in the race, but she led the race last year and ran 5th. So I think she's going probably as good now, and did a little bit of work this morning, just a bit of 3/4 pace of ticking over gallop. So look, really happy with her, and she deserves her chance at black type.
It's a race full of depth and probably not easy to find one on top, Aidan, but we do need a selection. Who's the one for you?
I've gone outside the ones that were spoken about already. I'm really keen on Indiardi. I thought the run last time out in the Irimitaka Classic, when getting just a little bit too far back, it had real merit. In the previous couple, winning that 75 in a big 18-horse field at Trentham, great, and had won the Summer Cup at Riverton 3 starts back. I thought there was nothing but upside about Indiardi, and one of the big upsides is that 53 kilograms with the right run in the race. Indiardi on top for me.
Yeah, look, I almost said Mayor of Norwood there. I think he can definitely win the race, so I might be suggesting a split bet here. But I also went a little bit outside the square. I really like the $13 on the Centane Spittles trained in Vegas. Look, a very good performance at Riccarton 2 ago. Flashed home here at Wingatui behind Generation Joy at its most recent performance. 53 kilos, it'll get a beautiful soft front. It's around about $13, but as I said, I'll also be having a little bit on Mayor of Norwood, but in Vegas, my top selection.
Okay, we love a bit of value on the form, and the guys providing it in the Dunedin Gold Cup as we move on to the last race that we want to talk about, and this is the ODT Southern Mile Final, and last year's Guinea winner is your favourite, Loose Sally, $3.80 pushing out to 4s. No Party at $5.50 on that second line of betting, and Aladdin's Gem. Right, this time, Bevan, have the bookies got it right?
Yeah, she's class. She's a really classy mare now. I'm not sure this has always been the race that Shankar's had in mind. But she's been so good. She's been penalised with the 61.5 kilos. She's coming in two off that with Ruvenish doing the riding. Look, we were there last year, weren't we? And she came from last. It was an incredible performance. She might be the best Emir in the South Island, potentially, in my opinion. And I think if she was in the Cuddle on Saturday or Sunday at Trentham, she'd be in it right up to her neck. I think, A-Rod, the speed map probably suggests that there'll be good enough tempo in the race.
Yep, 8 pence are likely to get forward, and then you've got the Diviner and Megalomaniac from out wider. I think they'll roll the dice there. Akanehi's been ridden positively in recent starts. Monaghan Boy the same. Our approval from that barrier draw should get a lovely run just in behind them, doing not a lot of work. I'm not too sure if you saw it much different here, Bevan.
Not really. I just think it's a big field. There's 200,000 up for grabs. By this stage of the day, clearly we're going to have a very good guide on how this track is playing. So if it's up and in or anything, they'll be charging from the off. So in my opinion, I think they'll be going along strongly enough. If the rain doesn't arrive, I just saw that the Golf Open has actually been postponed in Queenstown due to the rain. So we hope that it doesn't get to Dunedin, but I know that's a fair way right in the South Island.
Yeah, let's hope it stays far away as we take a look at your favourite last time winning on the track over the mile. I mean, that's the great thing about her. We know she's got a very good record here down on the track, Bevan, and this was very good, carried the same weight, and she just finished off the race beautifully to win.
And I think she has more to offer. She was such a big mare when I saw her last year. I thought, gee, she's got some class. I imagine she's full to frame, having the opportunity to see her in the flesh. The start prior was the win, where you go, how the heck did she do that? She got held up and behind them, and then she got one quick split at them and she got across the top of them. Look, if there was a bit of aqua around, she would handle that with aplomb. She's only had 10 starts, she's won 6. She's only improving. Aidan, she's class. She is actual class, and as I said, if she was up amongst those mares in the Cuddle, she'd be right in that as well.
Yeah, I agree totally. $200,000 option right at home. It's not a bad play. On that performance, it's only narrowly beaten Our Approval. Our Approval comes in half a kilogram better, but Opie Boston takes over from Fleur Merman. So maybe does that give you a little hint that Our Approval can, especially with the soft run that Our Approval is going to get, may be able to turn the tables on Loose Sally? Loose Sally's got 6 from 10 and just is a winner. So you got to side that way, but Our Approval out of that race I thought had real upside.
Okay, one to watch there, and of course the other 2 runners we want to talk about is 8 Pence and Air Park Hustler. They both fought it out over the weekend. Let's hear from their trainers, starting with Lance Robinson, and see how 8 Pence has come through that run on Saturday.
Yes, he has. He's just really thrived since that race. He's only had a quiet week, but he'll do a little bit of work in the morning, but we couldn't be happy with him.
And the horse pulled through the run well and is ready to rumble again?
We think so. I thought his run the other day was excellent. He hadn't had a run for nearly a month. So that race should really clean him up good, and I'm sure he'll back up well this week.
And at the weights would have to be some sort of a chance in this?
I would like to think so. He's a pretty handy horse. He won a maiden at Cup meeting, and his form since then has been really, really good. So I think he's going as good as anything in the race, and we're pretty confident he'll be very, very competitive.
Yeah, he's a real progressive type of horse that we think can get to the top level in probably 12 months' time. He doesn't do everything 100% right, but I mean, if you go back from run for his form with a fine tooth comb, I think he's run 3rd to Loose Sally and No Party 3 starts ago at Dunedin. Well, he meets them a lot better at the weights than he did that day, and that day he was drawing the outside barrier. I think if you're drawn inside, he goes awfully close to beating the 2 of them. Then went to Wellington, didn't have a lot of luck there, and didn't have a lot of luck last start. So yeah, his form's not as bad as what it probably reads on paper. If he can perform like he did Cup Week, then yeah, he's got to be a big chance. And I think he's at 2 starts at Dunedin for, as I said, a 3rd behind Loose Sally and No Party, and a 2nd in Dunedin Guineas. So yeah, there's a lot to like there.
Let's have a look at the race. Obviously 8 Pence led this and kept on finding, but he's right there. Didn't get any luck really, Air Park Hustler here, Aidan, and once he was out and clear, he was very good late.
really good. Comes in 2 kilograms better than 8 pence, and as Matt said in that interview, really does fire at Wingatui. You go back to that Dunedin Guineas from 12 months ago, and Lucella, yes, beats the Park Hustler home. There's a 7.5 kilogram swing on that race. I really think he's a factor in this race, and when you look at the December 26 form as well, there's enough in that to say that Air Park Hustler, the draw's just niggly. The draw's niggly, and so for that reason, I think maybe Loose Sally has some sort of edge, but not a lot. I thought Air Park Hustler was one of the big factors in this race.
Don't disagree. Do not disagree. I think going really nicely. That was a bit of a speed map special race for 8 pence. It was early on in the program. There was no other horse to take 8 pence on. I'm not disregarding the form line of 8 pence though, because the run prior to that at Rickon, I thought that horse was going to drop out and run last. Well, it just dug its toes in and kicked and kicked. So clearly it's got the mental stability and grit and determination to keep on running on 8 pence. I think out of the race, I've been a fan of Air Park Hustler, does run into a lot of trouble, gets the right weight to be a big winning chance. Bruno's aboard. It'll be interesting to see where he does get to in the run, but hey, I'm with Mamiya by Turn Me Loose and Loose Sally. I think she's outstanding. She's got a winner's record. She's only improving. Her races have been so spaced out that she'll be on the fresh enough side to run out a strong mile. But the weights are against her. If she wins this, she'll be in Group 1 races next season.
I'm not going to disagree. I'm with Loose Sally as well. Real respect around some of those we've said. A couple that we haven't mentioned. The Fire is going well enough, and No Party just had no luck whatsoever last time out. But yeah, Loose Sally on top and makes it probably 7 from 11, embellishing what's already a terrific record.
Yeah, it really is, and fingers crossed if you're in her camp she can do that. We also need something else to follow on the program team. Aidan, we'll start with you. Who have you found for us?
Geez, I'm going to need a little bit of help here from my director here. But we're going to the Princely one in race 6 in the sprint. I just did think that this was a horse who won really well last time. At the overall record consistency has been very, very good, and Robert Dennis doing a terrific job with one who goes around in the family colours.
Yeah, look, I was going to go the Princey one because I couldn't have been more impressed with its performance to start when it got all wound up and she was in a mood and she just came out and outclassed them very, very easily. I agree, very hard to beat. But I'm going with one called Trader for the Andertons. Corey Campbell does the riding. It was in behind the Princey one. I think that's an outstanding form line. It was only beaten half a length. Chased home hard. There was a bit of a margin back to the remainder of them. Gets a good gate. Corey Campbell, Andertons at home, I think is a major player in the 5th on the program out of Wingatui.
And that completes our look at Dunedin. Now we're concentrating in on our trial files. Aidan, who have you found for us to follow this week?
I've found you one for another race at Wingatui as well, because there's a 2-year-old race there on Saturday, and have a look at this horse who's out in centre track. And what you don't see is just how far off this horse was at the time. Made up very good ground under Tini Komanyagi. Goes around in the 2nd at Wingatui on Saturday. Has had the benefit of one outing to the race. Has had impressed leading into that at the trials, and I thought this was a really nice trial from one who does head to the races pretty quickly.
I'm going to take to a Jim Wallace horse and TikTok Tessa. I've been waiting for her. Her first trial back on the 16th of September on a heavy 8. Just brought a flood of money. Well, Jim's turned it down. He's given this horse a very quiet one at Foxton on the 13th. And this is on a good forward track condition at Foxton. She's run really good time. She's got a touch of class. Any sort of cut in the track helps her. I think she's really tough to beat, and she'll be in the first on the program out of Trentham Pip.
I did see her in the nominations, thought I'd better stay away. I thought Bevan would be with her, and he is. TikTok Tessa in final time there for Aidan. So both of them coming up over the weekend, our trial files. From there, that means we're going to be taking a quick break here on the form. Don't go far though, because off the other side, our Blackbookers, and then we get into our Matamata preview. Welcome back into the form. Before we talk about Matamata, we've found some more Blackbookers for you to follow. Aidan, who caught the eye this week?
Taking back to Ellerslie last Saturday, I thought the run of Gypsy God early in the day was terrific. Sectionally, very, very good indeed. And a horse who just seems to be not too far away. I know it's been a little bit of a underwhelming form line leading in, just a one win from 14 starts now, but all the quickest closing sections. You can see the horse here making ground about 3 off the fence in the hands of Jack Taplin. And we did speak to the team leading in. They just said needs luck, but does have some ability. So I think probably one to really follow next time round.
I'm going back to our old mate in ARA Fields. I think he's got a sharp horse on his hands here in Monologue. This was her fresh up performance, and I thought it was really, really good. If she hadn't ducked in, she probably would have gone very close to winning this race. I think second up, she'll be really, really tough to beat Monologue. I think he had thoughts about getting in the Cuddle, but just came up too early for her. But there's a nice race in here. Monologue, I think she's got a lot of upside.
And I'm taking you back to Sunday. This Savabeel gelding here, you can see Centurial just absolutely bombs the start at Taupo, and it's not easy to make up ground there at times, and he certainly did. He had the best sectionals of the race. He looks a little bit green. This is over the 1100 metres. Think he can get out to even further. It was only his first race day start, so a real follow for me from the Te Akau stable. Here is a summary for you. Gypsy God, Monologue and Centurial for ours. Blackbookers this week, and from there we're now going to concentrate in on our domestic action out of Matamata on Saturday. Weather and track wise, I see there might be a little bit of rain on the forecast, Aidan.
Yeah, there is a little bit of rain coming up, so that might be the concern here. It's more a tomorrow type thing leading in, but obviously they were hit hard at their last meeting. You can see their heavy 8 for Matamata Breeders' Stakes Day, but the track seems to have bounced back really well, and it's obviously been produced in really good order with a soft 5. Rail out the 4.5 metres for this meeting on Saturday.
All right, well, let's take a look at the Open 2,000 metre. This is on race number 6 here. Maldini, $3.30 favourite, coming in off the back of a last start win on Boxing Day. Subway Fair at $4.80 and Steely Man at $6.50. Aidan, who's the one for you here in the Open 2000?
I did go Savoir Fair. I just thought with Hayley Hessman claiming the 2 kilograms down to 52, it's just in a really nice place. Note that Sam McNabb's been booked for Maldini, so he won't be able to claim anything. He won't be able to claim any of that 3 kilogram claim. Savoir Fair on the best form from his career, especially out of Melbourne, he'd be a big factor. I thought third up he was ready to go, especially with the 52 on his back.
I'm going to take you to the underbelly, actually. I know he is a good horse. He is a good horse. His fresh up run at Tauranga over 1,500 metres was really, really good behind Super Photon. He then went quickly to the 2,200 metres. He actually got really handy and a little bit above himself, and he just ran out of puff. The blinkers go on him. He's got a soft gate. Craig Grills is aboard. He has been plagued with barrier manners. He's been an absolute rogue at times, but when he's put it together, he's a very, very good horse. So I'm with the underbelly Pip in the Open.
Okay, so that's the Open 2000. What about the Open Mile as we take a look at the market for race number 8 on the program? No surprise for me to see Checkmate move in this market, $3.70 into $2.70. Zantabulous is just going the other way, $4.80 out to $5. Aidan, who'd you find on top?
The 370 on Checkmate seemed to be ridiculous. They were thinking about going from the Aotearoa Classic into the Group 1 Otaki Māori Weight for Age. They decided against that last week. For what reason, I'm not too sure. But you go back and have a look at the 3rd placing, the Ritual Mile, the 5th placing in an Aotearoa Classic, and it's just... It seems to me to be superior form. So I was clearly in the camp of Checkmate here. Bevan, how about you?
Oh, absolutely. I think he's a good thing on the day, especially from the gate. He should get a beautiful sit behind. Look, he was 2 off Tuxedo. He's been close up to Queen Zoo. Hasn't been far off first 5. I thought you're getting a little bit of meat on the bone from this horse. If there was a couple to come out and challenge him, Leroy Brown could steal it off the front if they get too far off it. Sugatani has actually been going really nicely, and the form lines really do sit nicely around it, and Zantabulous has a bit of ability for sure, but like, he should be winning. He should be winning Checkmate on Saturday.
Yeah, hence I think the move in the market already. What about something else on the card to follow, guys? Aidan?
I was liking Sati in the last. The win on debut was phenomenal at Tauranga. And the last start second, I think you can be pretty forgiving. I think he's a horse with a great deal of upside. He's in the right hands with Ken and Bev Kelso. I just thought he was beautifully placed in the last Sati.
Oh, I thought Burnaphone was outstanding in its most recent win at Ellerslie. Goes around in the 3-year-old in race number 3 on the program. Now, there is a little bit of ability and a couple with upside there, but Hayley's taking a couple of kilos off. She sticks with the ship post that win for Benjamin King out of Matamata, and if it repeats that performance, I think it'll be a repeat win in race number 3 at Matamata.
Okay, like it. So there you go. Hopefully we found you some winners out of Matamata. And from there, we're lucky enough to have Trentham on the Sunday session this week. Bevan, weather and track-wise, what are we expecting?
Well, the track's in a great position at the present moment, and there is a little bit of rain in the forecast, but I don't think it's going to have any sort of major play on track conditions, so it should be absolutely perfect for the Sunday session, Pip, with the Cuddle being on a Sunday. I'm looking forward to this meeting. I think there are some really good bets across the program, and we'll talk about that on Sunday, but yeah, the Cuddle's a cracker.
Certainly is. So let's take a look at the market for it. Race number 6 on the card, the Ridges Wellington Cuddle Stakes. She's a dealer, $3.50 favourite from Afternoon Siesta at $4.20, Hanikaha at $5.50, and Maraturi Molly at $7.50. Any thoughts on the market, Bevan?
Oh, well, the Taranaki race, the Wairapa breeders must have been a shocking race for the prices to come out like they have. This is madness. I mean, She's a Dealer's a serious horse, make no mistake, but $3.50 against this lineup, give me strength. Afternoon Siesta is a good horse, but got beaten last start in a rating 75 and is $4.20. If you want your first 5, back can she? That is madness. $13. She almost broke 11 seconds her last 200 at Te Haraniki on a track that doesn't suit her. She ran 33.7 or 8 home. They've got this horribly wrong. She's a Dealer can win. There's no doubt about that top line. But look, if you even wanted to get into Nigella Lane at 26, what's that doing out at that price? I mean, some of the prices, I don't get it. Hanikaha might be better at the mole, and she'll jump and run on speed. But looking at the speed map, everything tells me they're going to run this quickly. You've got Afternoon Siesta, who is going to go forward. Canelo similarly. Hanikaha, the process has been to go forward. My Lips Are Sealed rose forward. Maraturi Molly does as well. Hoyo Sesma. All right, so they should be really clipping along here. And I think Kenshi and She's a Dealer will be back with each other. Look, she beat Dr. Askar 2 starts ago and gave him a cold. She came from last and won by 4 or 5 lengths going away. It's just madness to me, Pip, how this market has been set up.
Yeah, I think it's Bevan versus the bookmakers, Aidan. What were your thoughts on the speed map here?
I'm pretty similar around the speed map. I think there's a fair bit of pressure. I think some of these may just have to ease off to make sure that they get in their chance and not be involved in a high pressure race. But then the high pressure comes out and maybe that evens up. But I think what Bevan's saying there about the market is really just a reflection on the depth of this Cuddle. It's a terrific race, and it will be a key lead up into that Group 1 New Zealand Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes as well. Really nice race on Sunday.
It really is, and 2 of the runners we want to catch up with their trainers around are She's a Dealer and Hanikaha. Now, they both come out of the Aotearoa Classic on Karaka Million night. We'll start with Andrew Forsman, and Aidan just asked him what he made of Hanikaha's run last start.
Yeah, she was disappointing. We expected better that day. She was up against those older season weight for age horses. She's only a lightly tried 4-year-old, so we're thinking just back to a mile might be her go for now. I think she'll get over a middle distance in time, but back to the 1600 against mares should suit.
Yeah, it really is a drop in grade. Is she training well enough to be winning this weekend?
Yeah, she is. She always works well. She looks great. She seems in good form, but she has been up a little while now, so I guess we'll just have to hope we can get 1 or 2 more good runs out of her before the winter comes.
Yeah, look, we've been happy with her. We were quite keen to see her over 2,000 last week at Matamata, but it was just too wet, so we came out. Hopefully the weather plays its part this weekend. There looks a little bit around Friday, Sunday, but fingers crossed we get an okay track, and I think big mile at Wellington will suit her.
What's her training been like this week, Rob?
Yeah, work's been good. She's a pretty good track worker. Just hope it's not too wet down there. She handles some sort of cut in the ground, but I think she's better on top of the ground. Key to her, though, is just drawing a gate. She hasn't had a lot of luck, and sort of made things hard and she's had a bit of bad luck. But if she draws a gate, she'll be competitive.
Let's take a look at this race. I mean, we have multiple times. We know how good both the runs were, Aidan. How do you think they'll stack up on Sunday?
Hinikaha's effort this day in what was a clear swoopers race was just massive. And then we've seen She's a Dealer go so well. Tuxedo very good and ran with real merit in the Otaki Māori weight for age stint. So we're going to stack that form up. You're getting Checkmate, who we're also keen about. So no question about the form here. She's a Dealer was unlucky, but it was on pattern, whereas Hinikaha fought so bravely against that pattern for that second placing. Was disappointing last time out. There's no question about that with Hinikaha, but this is different. You're back to a left-handed track at 1,600 metres where I think she thrives.
Yeah, I agree. I think she'll be better at the 1,600 metres. I think she's just finding that little extra step up and trip at the present moment, even being a very big and strong mare herself. I think the mile will suit her. Like, she has been up a while and it was a massive effort behind Tuxedo. She's a Dealer. I actually went right back through a record. A couple of runs in Australia, rating-wise, would be right up to winning this convincingly. I don't know if she's completely recaptured those sort of numbers, but she's got a lot of class. She's drawn a good enough marble. I think the mile will suit her. If that sort of rain that is around, and look, it's not major rain. If it was to sort of put a dent in the track, then I think that really does hurt She's a Dealer. But they're both quality mares, and it's a quality race, so a good mare will win this.
Oh, really will. And what about My Lips Are Sealed coming into this off the back of a last start win? Let's hear from Sam Burgess and what he made of the run.
Yeah, obviously, it was a fantastic positive ride by Rory, which probably won the race. Great to see her bounce back to form. She'd had a bit of a frustrating spring and we freshened her up, and it was a bit of a fork in the road for her whether it was potentially broodmare time for her or we carry on. So showed she's still up to it and still enjoying her work, and she's come through it really well. Obviously the rain affected going probably really brings her into it, and it looks like there's a bit of rain about Trentham, so we're certainly hoping that's the case again. But yeah, she's come through it really nicely.
What have you done with her in training this week leading in?
Yeah, she just had a nice hit out here yesterday on the plough, and it was a good solid piece of work. Rory came in and rode her, and he takes the ride there on Sunday, and yeah, she's in really good order. It's come up quite a strong field and probably needs to step up again, but she's in good order.
Yes, a key contender if that rain really does come as well. But from there, we're going to take you to the Weighted Upper Breeders, where Nigella Lane comes out of it. And as Bevan's mentioned, already at a huge price. But can she? You're right, Bevan, just an absolutely sensational run.
I mean, just let the pictures tell the story and then go back to her previous run beating Dr. Ascar at Trentham. She's run 33.8 home. She's almost broken 11 seconds for her last 200 metres. You can't go any quicker than that. And Nigella Lane has been outstanding, beating Ohio Sesbom. This is really, really good form. A stride past the post, she's the winner. So I think Nigella Lane is at crazy money myself as well. I think clearly Trentham suits her much more with the big wide open straight and the long run in. I'm certainly not saying that the top two in the market can't win this race, because She's a Dealer definitely can. And Afternoon Siesta's a very good horse as well. I'm just saying the market's wrong, and Kenshi's form has just been disrespected, and I've got no idea why.
The run was massive. There's no question about that. It was a super run, and at $13, you're undoubtedly getting value. Yeah, it is a really strong race, and like you say, Nigella Lane, terrific there as well at a crazy price as well. And even going back to that previous video, our Jamala was massive in running second on a rain effective track and getting $19. So. Geez, it's a race of real depth, and I think that's why we are getting inflated prices. But as we saw last week with Jaffe at 23s, you can find those horses at decent prices and be taking some spoils.
Yeah, and our Jamala won it last year, and she's at 19s, coming off two very good runs. So, wow. Hey, my case has been stated. I don't have to say much more. I reckon Kenshi. I said to Fraser after that run at Tauhara Nikau, and we haven't spoken about Lochinor, who comes out of the same race, who just got lost for a bit of tempo in the run early. I think she wins. Kenshi, I said to Fraser, you win the Cuddle on that, and 2,000 metres is beckoning, but he'll keep it at the mile for this preparation, I think. So I'm with Kenshi.
Okay, I'm going to go Hinikaha, just like what the body of work is, really forgiving of last time. We know her ability is of the highest degree.
Okay, so that completes our look at the Cuddle Stakes on Sunday. From there, we need to build our bank because there's plenty of good races to play into. Aidan, who have we got for us?
Just found Lupo Solitario at Matamata. It is race 4, but a horse who was very good sectionally late and currently on the 4th line of betting. So you're getting around at about $8. So more just an each way play. I thought Lupo Solitario in the 4th at Matamata.
I'm going to a horse called Summon Up in race number 3. I thought he was enormous on debut, and then backed it up with a really... That horse will win as well. TikTok Tessa, don't worry about that. But Summon Up sort of flashed home late at its most recent performance, got held up at Oteki and behind them and got home lately. Gets up to the mile, double it up, TikTok Tessa, Summon Up into race number 3. Perfect.
Yeah, give us both of them, Bevan, as we take you to a break. Best bets off the other side. Welcome back into the form. It's time for our trainers' tips. Let's have a look at the full page. Make sure you take a screenshot of this and you can catch all of their tips in person on the socials there. There's plenty to follow, so hopefully we've been delivered the goods from our trainers. And speaking of that, what about our best bets brought to you by My Racehorse? So it's showtime. Aidan, you're on the hot seat. Who have you got?
Despite a wide barrier draw, I'm with Sati in the last at Matamata race 9. Just so impressed by what we've seen of this horse so far. Brilliant on debut at Tauranga. And then all but beat Miss Jones at Tarapa in what was a race that was basically put on for Miss Jones. But Sati's run was absolutely full of merit. I think should be winning the last at Matamata. Bevan, for you?
Oh, I think everyone saw the fields come out. They knew what horse I'll be on. I was showing Te Haranikio at 1. We should have showed Trentham where he got held up in a pocket and it was an absolute train wreck. 2,000 metres, rating 65. It'll eat it up. It's very tough to beat, and I'm standing by Pip, trying to wait for the market to be released.
Absolutely, and I agree with the team. I think Checkmate is the horse to beat in race number 8 at Matamata. Very good run in the Aotearoa Classic last time out. Craig Rule, soft draw, money's already come for him. I think he will be winning, so with him on the weekend. Here is a summary. You can see the Wales jumping in with Addington, race number 5. There's the rest of ours. Hopefully we have found you plenty of winners, and that does complete the form. Thanks very much for watching. As always, thanks team. We'll catch you back next weekend. Until then, enjoy the action.